Good day, Yerevan! We woke up very happy and awake today. In the last week's episode, my Boria and I tied the knot and officially became husband and wife. This is not the end of our love story, but only the beginning. After the wedding, I needed to apply for a Russian visa to go to Russia. It was the second half of December, and that night, the first snow fell. There wasn't much to cover the ground, but I am glad to see the snow for the first time. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
It's so cold. It's beautiful though. Beautiful. I had a mixed reaction to snow. I like it because it is beautiful, but doesn't like it that it's gotten colder. Meanwhile, we drove up to the Russian embassy in Yerevan. It was not a very pleasant experience for us. Boria and I had to wait outside in front of the embassy gates to hand over the documents that we prepared. We asked the guard if we could go inside to warm up a bit because it was very cold outside. But we were refused. We went inside an Armenian bank to escape the cold for a while. After several hours of waiting, the embassy guard let us in and we applied for a visa. It took weeks to process the visa. There are 10 days left until the new year. Then, the embassy staff will not work for another 2 weeks, so we will get a visa only in a month. We were told to come back tomorrow so we could pick up my passport. Before heading home, we decided to take a walk in the park and saw a very nice cafe. We ordered burgers, fries, and hot chocolate drink.
Sweet?
The next morning, we went back to the Russian embassy, but the security guard told us to come up at noon, so we had no choice but to walk around. Not far away, we found a museum. It's a great opportunity to learn more about the history of the city we are in. There are about 90,000 exhibits in the History Museum in Yerevan today. There are archaeological, ethnographic, and numismatic collection. There are photos which tell about the past of the capital. Man lived on the territory of Yerevan even in prehistoric times. The fresh water of the Razdan and the soft and warm climate created good conditions for the development of life. Different tools have been found in Yerevan cave, which are more than 100,000 years old. Cold hearts, polished ceramics vessels, arrowheads, knives, jewelry, and other evidence of the rich historical past of these places are kept in the museum. The History Museum of Yerevan consists of 3 floors. Here, people of all ages, professions, and preferences can have an interesting rest. Among the exhibits of the museum, there are letterpress and printing machines. Here you could type and print literature in 50 languages. After our tour, we went back to the embassy to get my passport. We were surprised that I was not allowed in the building and was left outside. It was -7 degrees that day and I was very cold. They don't allow phones in the building, so we couldn't even communicate with each other. Eventually, they let me in to sign, give me my passport, and told us to come back again on January 13. I didn't understand why they told me to stay there and it was freezing cold.
Yesterday, watched other embassy,
Yes.
France, and they're
There are
not.
no people outside their embassies. And even in Armenian Foreign Affairs, we were there for a few days. And they let us in. It was very warm inside. They didn't let us wait outside.
Yeah.
I don't know about Russian. To brighten up our mood a little, we decided to cook something together. I never had dumplings before, so we will be making dumplings with potatoes.
Yes.
This is mine. It's chewy. I don't know what it tastes like. It tastes like potato, like mashed potato with milk.
Do you like this?
I like it.
In the Philippines, don't have this. Yeah. Don't make.
Yeah. We often like with meat. Boris continued to introduce me to the foods and drinks that he was used to.
Сейчас Дарлин будет пробовать квас. Первый раз.
Oh, why is that like? It smells like beer. Tastes like soy sauce. I don't know. It smells like beer, tastes like soy sauce, but sweet soy sauce. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I wasn't impressed with kvass. It is good that there are no food problems in Armenia. There are still so many dishes and food that I will sure to enjoy. In addition to cafes and restaurants, there are many bakeries in Yerevan where you can buy warm, crusty bread, croissants, and cakes. We noticed that there are always people standing near one bakery and decided to wait in line to buy something for tea.
Вы не пробовали у них пиццы? У них пицца тоже шикарная.
Пиццу нет, не
Вот
пробовали.
один раз попробуйте.
Да.
Жульен у них шикарная пицца.
Спасибо.
Эклеры,
Да. О, обязательно сейчас что-нибудь возьмем тоже.
чаю, кофе, эклеры.
Горячий? Давайте. Тоже. А что еще у вас вкусненько? Ага, да.
On our way home, we bought the local Armenian tea made from fragrant mountain herbs, brewed it in thermos, and started drinking tea.
Халва. I am not used to drinking tea. My family is like many Filipino families who prefer to drink coffee. Boria told me that tea drinking used to be more than just a part of breakfast or dinner in Russia. It was a tradition. People would gather around the samovar, put out desserts and delicacies, and make tea for hours at a time with heartfelt conversation. Since we've had tea drinking has also become our little tradition.
Do you like?
Yeah, I like it. Not very sweet.
I often burns myself with hot tea because I didn't know how to take a sip a little at a time, but take a sip right away. Boris advised me to try drinking tea from the saucer. At first, I thought it was a joke, but he convinced me that it was also part of an unusual tradition.
No, it's hot.
I like hot tea.
Maybe that's... Don't worry, baby. Don't worry. All will be fine.
Don't make me laugh. I'm not doing it right. See? I like white tea here.
Maybe... Yeah?
It's not hot.
Not hot. Yes. Very good.
It's Philippine style. How Russian?
Yeah.
And Philippines like
Our apartment lease is up, and tomorrow, Boria and I have to move to another apartment. It's a little sad to leave this special place for us. There are wonderful memories associated with it, and we have gotten to know each other more here. The new apartment is smaller than the previous one. The heater doesn't work very well either, so I was very cold. We will only stay in this apartment for 3 days while we look for a new one near the center of Yerevan. There is a Nur Ababkir park near the apartment. We decided to check it out. The park is still under renovation, so I am more interested in local cats and dogs.
not many people today because it's winter, it's cold, and there's still snow on the ground. And the view is very nice from here.
The park had a breathtaking view of the city and the Razdan Gorge. We admire the Davtashan Bridge again, which I told you about in the last video. Some of the houses in Yerevan are built on the very edge of the gorge and remind me of the swallow's nest. A little farther away, more and more new buildings appear. At the monument, about 300 apartment buildings are under construction in the city. A demand for real estates in Armenia is growing, also because foreigners can buy houses and apartments here, rent them, and get residence permits. It was time to move to a new place again. We got in a cab and went to another part of town. We found an apartment near Republic Square. It was actually a dormitory, with several people living in one apartment. Each room has its own bathroom, and there is a shared kitchen with dishes and a washing machine. Interestingly, Filipinos often live here. The owner, Artur, has been to the Philippines several times and has many Filipino friends. In the next room lives a Filipino named Richard. He works in Yerevan as a chef in a restaurant and invited us to visit him. We gladly accepted his invitation. The manager of the restaurant told us that all the products here are organic and that they have their own farm where they grow vegetables and fruits, from which they prepare delicious dishes. There are fresh fermented fruits and vegetables, different wines, cider, and their signature kombucha, which is made from tea mushroom and apple juice. This drink we were highly recommended to try. After walking around the restaurant like in a museum, we came back to our table. There was an omelette, pita bread with meat stuffing, and kombucha, already waiting for us. It resembled kwas, or carbonated lemonade with a bright apple flavor. Boria and I enjoyed the food here, the decor and the pleasant home-like atmosphere. After the meal, we talked a bit with Richard about his life in Armenia and headed home. On the way, we stopped at the bookstore to find something for me. I love to read. It's one of my hobbies. I chose a book called Pride and Prejudice. I heard that it was an interesting novel and had wanted to read it for a long time. The book is in English, so it would be nice to read it together.
Oh, single. My dear, to be sure. A single man of large fortune, 4,000 or 5,000 a year. What a fine thing for our girls. How so? How can it affect them?
I read it aloud for a while, but Boria didn't understand much, so I continued reading to myself. So far, my husband's English is still far from understanding movies, songs, or books. But nevertheless, I and Boria noticed that we understand each other better and better every day.